Hi, this is Jennifer from Positively Learning, and today's video is all about ESY. If you do not know what ESY is, you are probably not a special educator, but maybe you are looking for materials for summer school. So what I want to do today is show you what types of resources that you can draw upon for a variety of situations, especially this summer. You may not know even exactly what ESY is going to look like for your school district. Please note, I am on the TPT website and you do see some prices. This is not a sales email at all. What I want to do is just talk about what I would use for ESY and throwing out a few different options. These options are here, of course, because they're in these bundles that I'm showing you, but you may also just say, okay, I have this, I have this, I have a math curriculum just like that. You can substitute different things. So I'm more giving you ideas. Okay, so I divided it into two types of resources. One is printable, hands-on, maybe you might even use the word traditional, and the other one is digital. Now, I'm going to quickly flip between these before I go and show you like why these resources were chosen. Here's the printable version. It has 4 different resources in it. That would be exactly what I would turn to if someone said, guess what? You're teaching this, it starts Monday. Then I also have a digital version. Now, the digital version has a lot more because you can use digital in such a different way. You could use digital while you are in person, that if students are half your students are working independently, and then you are working with a different group, or you could use this if you were working virtually, of course. You could be using this, sharing it online, working on it together, or assigning it online where students are working independently. I also have a bundle that combines both of them. So it's the printable and the digital. This is probably what I would use if I was in person, because the printable is going to give me some work samples, some documentation of how students are doing. I think it's also like very appropriate for them. But I also know digital is going to come really in handy. Well, let me just go back to the printable. I have a couple more things to share about that, but I will insert it as we go. Okay, so the printable. There's 4 different resources, and they're kind of tackling like the big rocks. One is I'm going to start with the math. The math is a fact fluency. And the reason I chose the fact fluency is that there's 2 different types of resources in here. There's actually 3. One is hands-on, like a center with flashcards that you could use in a small group or independently, like students working on it themselves. Fact fluency, addition, subtraction, very straightforward. The other are printables, and those printables are used for you could use them for practice. You could use them for progress monitoring. You could use them only on Fridays to capture data, but those are also in there. And there is so much included at different levels that you could meet students where they are, like whether they're at level A, which is the very beginning addition facts, or if they're level D, or if they're level D for subtraction. Like there's so many different levels in there that you could have students working on all the same activity at the same time, but at different levels, getting exactly what they need. So I will link these below. I'm going through these so fast, but I'll link them below so you can actually see what those look like. Okay, the next one is, oops, let me turn back to that. The next one is the sight words. Now, this isn't one sight word resource that you see where it says sight word bundle. It's actually 4 different resources. There are 2 sets of printable worksheets, different levels. One's the first 100 fry words, one's the second 100 fry words. So that would last you all summer. You could have students start from the beginning and work their way through. You could have students start halfway through, work their way, whatever they need. The next is also 100 fry words, but it's progress monitoring. This is what I would use online or in small groups when they're working with you. You're guiding the activity. It's a fluency builder. They're reading it. There's also flashcards and data tracking pages. In that sight word bundle, there's also a hands-on center. Obviously, you would not be able to use this if it was online, but it's a Play-Doh word center, which on, it's summer. That would be so much fun for them. But also, you know that they need the play, they need the fine motor, but it's also learning activities. The next thing in this printable packet is the summer packet, and that has 30 pages, 15 literacy, 15 math. And you can see that these are all elementary resources. I put that they are first to second grade. These are at like the mid to end of first grade year on grade level. I worked with primarily K through 2, mostly first grade. These would have been right at our instructional level. But if you were working with students that are younger or students that are older, you would have to make those adjustments. But those are fantastic. They also cover the math and the literacy. So there's all that. The last thing in this printable set is a blast game. It's 5 differentiated games all in one, whether you're targeting phonics, like CVC words, or maybe just sounds, maybe individual sounds like alphabet letters, or phonics, what I call sound spellings or chunks. And there's some CVCE words and sight words. That is a in-person activity. Okay, so again, I'm not like sharing this to sell it to you, but to show you what types of activities. We have a math that's differentiated. We have a sight word that's differentiated. We have a summer packet that kind of covers both. And then we have a game. So there's lots of hands-on learning, independent practice learning, opportunities for data tracking and documentation, which we know is so important. Okay, the next bundle is all digital. Now, I'm just going to scroll down. This is tons of digital, tons of activities. There's 8 different activities, and there's multiple activities in there. So one is social skills. Social sorts, there's 4 different centers. Each one has 12 digital task cards where students are like choosing between like good choices, bad choices, expected, unexpected, and so on. There's also sentence reading, focused on the Dolch nouns. So there's 3 different sets that's differentiated. There's sight words. And what I love about these sight words is they are very different than what we saw in the printables. In the printables, it was practice. Practice recognizing, identifying, writing, reading, so on. These are more of sight word sentence comprehension, more of the meaning behind it, which I think is a great like balanced approach. Then there's also 4 more sets of fry words. These are technically like straight on identifying, recognizing sight words. There's affect fluency. There's 6 different sets of differentiated addition and subtraction and mixed practice math facts. And then there's some pyramid words, which are perfect, 4 different sets, which are perfect for differentiated phonics. All right, is that enough? I said that there's 8 sets. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let me go back. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. There's actually 22 different digital task sets. And you know what? You're going to need all 22 because students love these and they will go through them pretty quickly. All of these are randomized, which means when you play them, they look a little different each time. The questions do not switch, but the order does on the Boom learning site. If you're not familiar with Boom, you can use these using the free version of Boom Learning. There's an option called Fast Play. If you do have a subscription or your school has a subscription, which I cannot say this for others, but for me, I found it to be really inexpensive. I think it was like $37. I'm not exactly sure. But it was because the prices have probably changed. I've been a member since 2017. So I might be on a different program. But if you have the paid version, you can print out boom cards to make centers. But they do print out on grayscale or color. So that's something to note. And then you also can collect data. If you have the paid subscription, it collects the data basically for you, which is a miracle for ESY. All right, and then the last option is that these are both together. And there's a money saving option if you were going to purchase this, but maybe you're listening to this going, I have 22 sets of boom cards. I already have those. Wait a minute, I have a summer packet. I have tons and tons of sight words. I have an entire Fact Fluency program, and I have some fun phonics games. I just now I have ideas on how to use them. This is definitely more than you need for ESY, their typical ESY program. But I also think it's really easy to pick and choose, but I also think like you want to have more than you need because you never know, especially if like these are students that are new to you or new to ESY. Anyway, I hope this helps you. If you were just assigned to this, maybe it's your first time teaching it, or you're teaching summer school, or maybe you're hosting some kind of summer program in a different school setting or at home, and you're thinking, I don't even know where to begin. I hope that these options like sparked some ideas for you. Please let me know in the comments and be sure to subscribe if you want to see any other topics related to early learning, elementary education, special education. I am your person. Please send me a comment and be sure to subscribe. All right, talk to you soon.